And then the other little tidbit that we cannot ignore this week is something data miners discovered on Nintendo's servers. Twilight Princess is getting its own Picross game, just like Pokemon did. It's going to be a My Nintendo reward. It's set to launch on March 31st, and though this is all unconfirmed by Nintendo, it seems pretty much definite, so...
It also seems pretty much random. Like,
yeah.
Why not just Zelda Picross and then release new puzzles for each game, kind of in a sort of systematic fashion? Like, why does it have to be Twilight Princess Picross? Like, what?
Well, so I'm wondering if this has something to do with Pokemon Picross. We saw you can catch the Pokemon and use their different abilities on the puzzles. I'm wondering if it has something to do with the abilities that you might be able to use in this game. If that's specific to Twilight Princess in some way. And I don't know what way that might be, but, that's the only explanation I can think of it is if they thought, hey, this would be a really cool idea for, like, Wolf Link and... the Yeti guys. What, I don't know.
That would still work with an expansion model, though.
No, I agree. I'm just,
Yeah, I get where you're going.
Yeah.
And I think it's weird that it's a My Nintendo reward. Like, wouldn't you think that there would be some kind of extra thing for a mobile game that would be Twilight Princess themed that would be a My Nintendo reward, not a, like, random puzzle game that people probably weren't going to pay for anyway?
Right. Well, I mean, I think that kind of signifies that it's probably going to be a much smaller experience than Pokemon Picross was. Pokemon Picross is huge. It's packed
huge.
With stuff.
It's huge.
Which is really amazing. But it's also, once if you follow the free-to-play model and, do all the in-game purchases, it comes out to a total of $40 to unlock the complete, fully unrestrained experience of Pokemon Picross. So, I mean, or 30, something like that. But it's basically comes out to a full retail game. Twilight Princess Picross, I would imagine, is, as the My Nintendo reward status would imply, a lot smaller. Worth a reward rather than a $30, $40 retail thing that's just free to access,
Yeah. And the other thing I think is unusual, and we kind of talked about this before, but you would think that they would want the Picross game, which kind of exposes people to their characters, you'd think they'd want that to be exposed to as many people as possible, not gated behind a bunch of rewards points through My Nintendo.
Right. But again, the existence of this game doesn't take away from any potential existences of other Picross games that do serve that purpose,
for sure.
For sure. So, I don't...
If anything, it tells us that they're looking at Picross and looking at using Picross more, so...
Absolutely. And I mean, I think Picross is something that's so easy to develop because the engine's already there. All they gotta do is think of the sprite works for the puzzles, and I would imagine that the way you develop them is you plug in all the squares that are filled in and all the ones that are X's, and then the game calculates the numbers that they give you as clues. So, I can't imagine that any Picross game takes hardly any development resources at all, so,
Well, and the other nice thing is it's adaptable to pretty much any form factor you can think of, so they can put it on any platform they want, and it's not even a headache for them.
Absolutely, yeah. So, cool things all around, nothing major, but it's an interesting discovery, it's an interesting idea, and they're probably going to announce it sometime pretty soon, so we wanted to touch upon it this week.
Yep.
Hello everybody, thank you for listening to this Nintendo Week clip, NWC. If you like what you hear, please subscribe to us here on YouTube for more highlights and discussion videos from Nintendo Week podcast, or subscribe to us on iTunes for weekly breakdowns of all your Nintendo news, discussion segments on subjects, games, and more, and tons of other features. Thanks for listening, and we will see you tomorrow with another NWC.